Alright, so this is going to be a big figure review because I'm going to be doing all the Terracons in one video. And I will leave timestamps at the bottom of the video as well as have chapters so you can skip to each one. Anyway, this is the figure review for Power of the Primes. Hun-grr, Blot, Cutthroat, SinnerTwin, and Rippersnapper, otherwise known as the Terracons, and when combined all together, Abominus. So, Power of the Primes introduced two, I believe, combiners, and barely had like two others. Abominus being their main one, or one of their main ones. The other being the Dinobots. But obviously, the Predacons take more agency and presence because they're an actual combining team. Anyway, with that said and done and out of the way, let's get a look at all the individual bots, starting with the leader, Hun-grr. So here is Hun-grr in his twin-headed dragon form. I do have the combined robot mode feet here and a prime insignia. I can just take that off right now and take these pieces off while I'm at it because they're not integral to the transformation. There we go. So Hun-grr is a repaint / heavy remold of a bunch of dudes. I believe the original mold was Silverbolt, which was the aerial bot commander, and then Defensor, and so on and so forth. But his mold is somewhat unique because he's obviously, a animal creature. Anyway, get a close-up of one of the heads. Big red sticker, red eye, pink spike, some molded detail as well. And then I'll look at the tiny spikes and the tail. And then there he is from the belly. And let us begin. So to start, just open up the heads. Because they will be the robot mode feet. Oh, I had him transformed wrong. You want to have that piece folded down so you get more spikes. It's not supposed to be like that. That is for robot mode, which we are going into. Apologies for that. Stand him up. Then bring his legs down. Bring him out one click. They're nice on ratchets. Bring his arms down. Flip back the paw. Raise the camera up a little bit. Wrong one. This one. Bring the tail down, but before you fold it down all the way, open up the chest. Grab the head to the best of your ability. Bring it up. Tab it in. The tail down, and there you have Hun-grr in his robot mode. Hun-grr is a Voyager class transformer, so he's obviously taller than Legends and Deluxe, obviously. So for posability, his arms can do a full 360, nice and ratchety. His arms can bend 90 at the elbow. Full articulation, no hand articulation, and that's about it. Legs can go up that far, back that far. He does have a knee bend, some ankle tiltage with the foot, and that's about it. And hand can do a full 360. Nope. Oh, and these legs you want to bring down, fold to the side, and just put them up into this backpack. Forgot about that. So there's Hun-grr in his robot mode. So next, let's move on to Blot. So here's Blot in his monster mode. I don't know exactly what kind of creature he is. He might be like a bridge troll, I think, but I have no clue. Take off the arm from this peg and take his gun off, and let's get a closer look at the monster form. So he does have red eyes on either side of the face, yellow, red. He's got big, meaty claws. Very tiny legs that do have articulation, but that's due to the transformation. And his leg can do a 180-ish. But that's about it for Blot. So to get him transformed, we fold the feet back. And then bring this back piece down. And they will be the legs. That little peg hole will peg into that little peg right where my finger is. Get that lined up. Same on the other side. Split his legs. Bring these pieces all the way up. And then accordion it down. These two pegs will peg into those holes right there and there. Bring his arms up into the body. And if you want, you can just leave him like that. So he has claws from arms. But what you're supposed to do is bring the middle claw out. So he has 3 claws on his arm. And there is Blot in his robot mode. Blot, I believe, is also a repaint / heavy remold of most of the Titan, or not Titans Returns, Combiner Wars figures. I think, anyway, but don't quote me on that. He can hold his gun, as a warrior should. So he can pew pew bang bang, pew pew bang bang. This little piece can fold down, and he can gain a breast armor as well. Have that hugging onto his chest. You can pull this out and put a Prime insignia inside to give him a Power of the Prime, which is the namesake of the season. But I'm going to have that off for now. So there's Blot. Next up, Rippersnapper. Rippersnapper's mouth can open and close, and it reveals silver teeth. He's got the hand on his back. Gonna take that off. The guns can stay on the side, but I am going to raise them up. So yeah, here's Rippersnapper and all of his Rippersnappery glory. To transform him, his legs also get folded up, and then peg leads peg hole. Flip that up. Peg that in. Bring the tail up. Bring these portions down. Accordion his legs down. And then close the legs in, making sure to have this tab in the leg. Bring the legs around. Bring the tail fin back up and into place. Take the head and fold it back, and it will slide into 2 tabs in the back, like so. And then his arms can be brought down and just have his hands turned to the side. And there is Rippersnapper in robot mode. He does have 2 twin guns that you can put in his fists. He also has that same breastplate mechanic as Blot does. Arms, full 360 if you just don't have the guns in the way. 90 elbow bend, full swivel there. Leg, that far, back, that far. Bend at the knee, and that's about it, as well as head swivel. So, next up is Cutthroat. Cutthroat is actually a repaint / slight remold of Dinobot Swoop. I will get to Swoop in a bit, or in the next video. But Cutthroat is a much better Swoop, in my opinion, mostly because the head doesn't constantly fall down. He's got a neat little crest there. His wingspan is massive. So there's that. And you could totally just have him whooshing all over the place. Anyway. Take off the backpack and grab the gun. So to transform him, bring the legs up, bring them back down so that they're on the side of the leg, bring his tail up, split the legs, and then pull the arms out from their tabs, bring the hands down, and then bring the head down and fold it down on the chest and flip up the crest. And keep the wings collapsed. And there is Cutthroat in robot mode. So unlike the others, he doesn't have a chest that his armor can go on, but he does have a port where you can give him a big hand instead. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, articulation's mostly the same as all of the other bots. Almost. I think that's 90-degree bend, or upwards. 90-degree bend there. Full articulation there. Leg up high. Back that much. Knee bend, and that's about it. And then obviously head articulation too. But there's Cutthroat. And lastly, SinnerTwin. So SinnerTwin is basically just a brick on legs. He's got 2 tails and then 2 heads. In the world of, I believe it's Greece mythology, we call that an Orthrus. Or Orthrus is a specific dog in Hades. Or in the underworld. Anyway, take the hand off, take the gun off, and let's get to transforming this guy. Close his mouth, that can't open and close. His heads can go up that high and then down that low. But take his heads, bring them back, swivel the front legs forward. Yeah, excuse me. And then bring the front legs up, bring the back legs up, take the tail off, and then split what will be the legs, come to the back and just pull, swing them down, close up the legs, fold down the tail pieces, bring these down, flip up the paws, and they will tab in to there. Bring out the fist, then fold this back, flip up the head, and just have the dog heads resting right there. And there is SinnerTwin in his robot mode. So he can get his gun and have prime armor on his chest, and that's about it. Articulation, arm, full 360, out that far, bend, no articulation in the hand, leg can go up that far, back that far, but if you move the dog heads, he can achieve a much greater distance. And then knee bend right there, and obviously full 360 in the head, and that's about it. So now, let's get the team together. And there they all are, side by side, sort of. And they look great together. So now, let's transform them all into their combined mode. Alright, I'm going to start with what I use as the legs. You can use any 4 of these guys as arms or legs, it doesn't matter. But this is how I have them configured. So starting from beast mode, we're going to take Cutthroat and then just bring his wings down all the way straight onto the body. And then that tab hole will peg in to that port right there. And then we can go in between the claws. And then his head, fold that down, fold this down, then take the combiner port and bring it all the way up. And there is one leg. Next, we take Cutthroat, fold the dog heads back, and what I like to do is turn the dog heads around. And then take the arms. That little slot right there will go into this tab right where my finger is. I'm gonna have to do this off camera because it's tricky. Ooh, crap. Oh. There we go. So there you have that, and what I like to do is have the legs, the back legs up against the arm, and then have the claws just folding down. And then take the chest and bring it all the way up. And there you have another leg all done. Next with the arms, since it's easier to start with in robot mode, we're actually going to take the guns away from Rippersnapper. I'm going to take this one with the line on the inside, put that out to the side, but keeping this one. Because what I like to do, bring the head up, fold this piece down, and then put the gun in that port. Turn the arms around, and same situation. There's a tab, goes in the tab hole. And then just turn the arms so that the fists are on the inside. And then turn his legs so that you have an elbow joint, and then combine them up. Make sure it's all nice and Skozen-like. And splitting rather easily, and I don't like that. There, you have an arm done. Next, take Blot, and pretty much the second person is the same as the first. Take him, plug the gun in. And since there's nowhere for his gun to go, what I like to do... I don't know where it is. There it is. What I like to do is I like to put his gun either up top, right there, or have it hiding behind here. Like that. So, pretty much the same thing. There's a tab on the arms that go into the body. Peg the legs together, bring the legs forward, and a 90-degree bend for there. And that's the arm all done. And now for the crude gravy. Hun-grr. Because Hun-grr forms the majority of the torso, he is a bit more involved. So to start, grab his tail, bring the chest down, fold his head in, bring that up. I'm going to push the spikes in and just fold that up. Then take his hands, and they extend out, because that's actually where the legs are going to go. There's a little notch right in there that will tab into this right there to keep the leg stable. Bring the both arms all the way up. And he does a full 180, I think. Anyway, swing the legs over, bring them in. And there you have the bottom half. Then we take the arm, or the legs, close up the head, put them into the leg cavity. And then these tabs will go into these portions right there. You want to make sure that this is flat as well. But before we do the other one, bring the legs back out, swing them forward, and then those tabs will go into these guys. We're going to tab one in first, because we want to grab this, fold it down, and then grab this fin, fold it all the way up and around, and that's the combined robot mode head. And there's little divots right above that spike. That is where you want the legs to go into. Now we can peg the other leg in. This will fold up. That peg will go into that slot. What I like to do is I like to fold these back. I sometimes like to have them folded back. I sometimes like to have them folded down. And then we take the tail and bring it back up to sort of hide that hole. And then we take these knee pieces and just fold them down. And there is Abominus ready to go. So let's bring in the legs. Bring in these feet pieces. They will obviously go in right there. And then you want to slide him in. So he stands as a Mighty Warrior shell. Excuse me. For the arms, you just want to drop them in. And then we give him his hand. Like so. And then drop the other arm in. And give him a hand. And take his horns, bring them up to complete Transformers, Power of the Primes, Abominus. And there he is in all of his glory. Now, again, you don't necessarily have to have Blot, Rippersnapper as the arms, or Cutthroat and SinnerTwin as the legs. That's just my preferred method of doing things with them, because I think this configuration looks the best in my opinion, but you do you, boo-boo. Anyway, let's bring it back in to get a closer look at that head sculpt. So he's got a bright yellow visor with a pink mouth. He's got some vents in the top of his head. We revealed his crotch plate section, and yeah, he looks really good. Now, most issues with Power of the Primes, or just combiners in general, are the combiner feet. So what I like to do is I like to take the other two hands that are not used, peg the weapon in, and have it set to this configuration, where the tabs are facing up, because otherwise, it won't sit flush. And have that hand fully extended out, and I peg it into the back for heel support. And because I'm uber OCD, I like to have Cutthroats on the Cutthroat leg and SinnerTwin on the SinnerTwin leg. Plus, I also like making use of everything that comes with the combiner. Now, what about this? Well, you can open up the chest, and there's a hole right there this can fit into. Voila. But most of the times it's kept closed. And most of the times when I have this guy combined together, it's still in there and it stays closed forever. I'm not going to try posing this guy, because that would include me, folding these up and then, So arms can do full 360, they can do out. That much. They have a 90-degree bend at the elbow and much more because they are made from the legs of the bots. And I don't know why Rippersnapper is separating so easily. It's pissing me off. Because of the way the hand connects, the hand does have rotation and full 360. He can go up that far, back that far. And if you move the hand out of the way, you do get a bend at there. And that's pretty much it. And then you obviously also have head rotation as well. For size comparison, move him to the side and pick back up. Battle Slash! Just so you can see how he scales with a deluxe. So, yeah. And then obviously, that's how he scales with a Legends class. I do not own a figure that is the next class up. I forget what that class is called. Or the class above that, which is Commander class. Mostly because I have no room and I have no desire for any of those figures. But anyway, I think with that, this has been my review of all of the Predacons and Power of the Primes Abominus.